Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It is Hutter Racing Day. The Corvette is going to Hutter Racing to get a tune refresh. So I'm giving you guys a cold start right here, right now, and then we will be pulling out the driveway and headed to Hutter Racing in Chardon. Got about a 42-minute drive, so I'll probably toss you guys up here on the dash and we'll talk a little bit along the way here. But first, let's get this thing outside. Alright guys, we just stopped for gas, filled the Corvette up. Now it's time to hit the highway and head to Chardon to Hutter Racing. It's a little cold out there. So it's about a 40-minute drive from where I live on the east side over to Chardon and where their shop is. So we should have a nice, decent ride here. So just gonna get into just talk. Sorry, radio's on. Don't need a radio when you're in a car like this. But after I changed the battery, the radio was off, and I thought some wiring or something may have been messed up, but it wasn't. Just had to press the power button on the radio after changing out the batteries. But we are ready to go here, guys. Heading out, we are going to be taking 271. Rolling forward here. Just going to talk briefly with you guys here. Not a whole lot. I've already said why we're going to Hutter Racing. Getting a tune refresh just to make sure the car is running how it's supposed to be. As you guys know, if you're a subscriber and watched the previous videos, the car did hydroplane and we had an accident, and the car has now recently been put back together. So now it's just in the stage of getting back to what it used to be and hopefully a little bit better. So I do want to get a quote or estimate from Hutter Racing for the ANA supercharger and the bigger intake manifold. I do have a new air filter for them to install in the Ram intake that's on this C5 Corvette, and then they'll be throwing it on the dyno, and then after that they're going to give me a call and tell me what my price is at, and if the price is right, we'll go ahead with the ANA supercharger and the intake manifold. But if it's not, we'll just be doing the dyno too. What else we have to do to the Corvette? Wheels, so rims and tires, obviously. Looking for the R888s for the tires. I know those are going to be hard to come by and find with somebody in stock with all 4 pairs of tires, depending on what size I go with for rims. But again, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. I'm going to basically be posting a couple, what should we do next, guys, or what do you guys want to see on the Corvette. I got some new stickers that I may want to talk to you guys about. So some new stickers that I want to talk to you guys about. So one will be across the windshield. I wanted to say commemorative, so I'll give you guys a couple options of what you guys can pick from, and some coloring options as well. The back window is getting the same lettering that it did previously, which is the YouTube channel, Moto AK47 across the back. And then again, I'll ask you guys what do you want to see color-wise or font-wise, and then which location. I don't know if I want to put it on the bottom of the rear windshield again, like I did last time, or put it on the top of the windshield. The top of the windshield, I'm thinking about going with that because it won't block any of my view for the back window here. But again, I'll still leave it up to you guys on what you guys think may look better. Other than that, we got to get estimate on getting the Corvette repainted, or some parts of the Corvette repainted. I'm going to go back to Gerber Collision, the people who hooked up or redid the right fender on the truck when I had that accident with the boulder. So they did a really nice job with that. Just put a new fender on there, fixed up a few things, touched up a few things, and some paint. So I'm going to be taking the Corvette to them to get an estimate from them, and then Albert at Block and Chip recommended this guy named Mark to me at a different shop to get an estimate from him as well. So we'll be looking at to see what those pricing or what those price estimates are from both of those shops, and then make our decision from there if we need to locate and talk to maybe a third shop and see what their price may be, if they're all around the same price. Alright guys, we are pulling up here to Hutter Racing. Kind of like a shop that's back in the cut a little bit. Got a barn over here to the left, big warehouse. Well, you can tell when you're here because all of the burnout marks. They got a Roadster out right now. Don't you just love fast cars? All right, guys, let me get you guys off the dash here. That's the Roadster right there. The burnout marks. Okay, guys, we just made it to Hutter Racing here in Chardon. Just like I said, it's back here in the cut a little bit. So there's that first barn. They have a white sign that's out there, and then this long driveway, and here's all the burnouts I was talking about. They got this nice setup here, back here. Warehouses, I'm pretty sure the dyno may be right there. but we'll see. So see you guys in a little bit with some further information. Okay guys, I am inside here now, inside Hutter Racing. Not gonna show everything in here. I don't know if I'm allowed to film. I should have asked first, but I know I'm allowed to film outside. But Trevor came over here and talked to me. Dusty was over on the phone actually, but I gave them my list right here of what I wanted to see with the car, and then the estimates that I talked to you guys about on the way over here. And to my knowledge, they're actually going to start working on it right now, so hopefully you guys will be able to see a little bit of footage of them working on it. So they're going to throw it on the dyno right now actually. So I will see you guys in a second. I'm very surprised about this. They're already going to start working on it, which is an A+ for customer service in my book, because today is my appointment day, so I would expect that. But again, shops are shops and they have other things to do. Projects get delayed sometimes, etc. So they're actually putting it on the dyno right now, and I made a mistake. The dyno is actually in this part of the shop. So I don't know if you guys can see it through the window. Trevor's backing it up onto the dyno right now. So he said it could watch through the window, so I might be going over there in a second here. Did you guys hear it? Alright guys, we are all hooked up on the dyno here at Hutter Racing. Got it strapped down. This is Trevor taking care of all the dyno tuning. Okay guys, back here in the shop, Trevor is looking over there at the O2 sensor. The O2 sensor on the right side of the car, the passenger side of the car, is what's causing it to run lean or rich, however you want to say it. But in the higher RPMs, excuse me, he said it's doing just fine and it's top notch and where it should be. He could do a little bit of tweaks here and there, but it's not really going to matter too much. The car is tuned properly and how it should be from these guys tuning it in the first place back in 09 or 2010 when the cam and springs and headers were installed initially. But right now he's just looking it over again. He doesn't have an O2 sensor here, so he'll have to order one and get one in here in-house and replace it. All right, guys, got another update for you guys. These guys are really good. So he's got the O2 sensor out already, so the car is jacked up still here on the dyno, and he's waiting on the parts store to bring a new O2 sensor. He didn't guarantee this will work to fix the running rich of the car, but it's a shot. So we're gonna see how it works out. We're waiting on the delivery of the O2 sensor, and we'll hook it back up and run it again. All right, guys, I'm bringing you back in. Trevor just installed the new O2 sensor, brought the car back down, still sitting on the dyno here. We are getting ready to do our second pass here to see if the new O2 sensor did anything with that passenger side O2 sensor and exhaust of the car running rich. So fingers crossed, hope that fixed our issue. If not, I'm sure Trevor will come out and talk to me a little bit further, and then we'll decide on what to do from there. Okay guys, another update. So Corvette still on the dyno. It was ran for the last time. Currently it's at 363. He's printing me out the dyno sheet or dyno graph right now, so you guys will see that as well. A little lower than I expected. He did tell me that his dyno is running a little bit lower, or reading a little bit lower than it used to. It is an older dyno, and he did say he was doing those pulls in third gear, so that's why we're at that 363 or whatever I'm going to show you guys on the dyno graph. So it does have a lot more horsepower than that, because you guys know the factory is 405, in which GM claims a factory C5 Z06 is 405. So again, that was just third pulls, so third gear pulls, which was at that 363 horsepower. As far as maybe a supercharger, that has to go on the back burner for right now, because we do have some oil consumption with this C5 that I kind of already knew about, but it just confirmed it with running it on the dyno and running it a little harder than you do on the road sometimes. But it was puffing out some white smoke at the end of those hard third gear pulls, so he didn't want to run it in fourth gear and do because that's a longer drawn out pull. So he didn't want to run it for very long in fourth gear and run it at a bigger horsepower reading number. So that's just him doing his job, knowing what he knows, not to overdo a car on a dyno and have something potentially break, costing you, the customer, more money. So I was appreciative of him letting me watch and passing along the information as I watched. So really good customer service here. They're doing an absolute good job. I didn't even expect to get all this done today, which is really good that it is getting done today. Got to get back home to the baby soon. We're on a... Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So he just brought me the dyno graph here. So again, right there, third gear, smoking, some white smoke. You guys might have seen it at the very end of one of the dyno pulls, but I didn't take a video of all the smoke. But here's the graph here, guys. Horsepower reading on the top right, torque on the top left. So 363 right there. Torque at around 325. So again, just keep in mind it was third gear pulls, so you're not going to see above that 363 mark as of right now. So hopefully when we get this oil consumption issue fixed with the Corvette, I'm going to have them actually take a look at it sometime when I can get a free day to come back again and they have time to look at it after I make another appointment date with them. We'll see if we can get that issue fixed and then hopefully be able to do some fourth, fifth, and sixth gear pulls on the car to get this 363 horsepower rating higher, because that he did tell me that he was expecting higher numbers than what it's reading right now. But again, he was only able to go to third gear just to be cautious, and that's where we're at with that 363 horsepower. Other than that, guys, again, he's just ordered a new O2 sensor for the driver side now, because he said it did fix a little bit with putting that new O2 sensor on the passenger side. So we're going to do the driver side now as well before I take the car and leave out of here. So again, I appreciate you guys at Hutter Racing if you're watching this video. So Trevor, you did an absolute great job. Appreciate the customer service and the niceness, and you allow me to watch everything be done. It's absolutely a cool experience, and I'll definitely be back here again. So I will see you guys, my viewers, my subscribers, in the Corvette once we pull it out and once they get the new O2 sensor on the driver's side put in. All right, guys, we are back out here with the C5 Corvette, ready to go home here at Hutter Racing. Absolutely enjoyed my first experience here. I absolutely will come back again, and I am coming back again. Got a little bit of news to talk to you guys about. Good news, bad news. The Corvette will need to come back. We got some oil consumption that they need to figure out. Oil catch can needs to be put on this car, and a new driver side O2 sensor connector. The connector looks very fragile, the wiring, and brittle, so they suggested doing that. So as far as the ANA supercharger and the intake manifold, that is going to be put on hold, and I'll just talk to you guys about this. It's a bummer, but it's common sense and it's smart. So with Trevor talking to me about it, the guy who was working on the car today, I mean, the guy works on Corvettes every single day for 8 hours a day, sometimes even more. So when a guy tells you, hey, I'd recommend you do this before you do this, you definitely want to listen. So they literally do this every single day. It is their job. So they're with these cars every single day. They see the signs, they see the same things with the same cars all the time. So he is absolutely recommending me to get an oil catch can and take care of the oil consumption issue first before we go with a supercharger and an intake manifold for the car. So that needs to be taken care of first, and I absolutely agree, because I don't want to blow this car up. I want it to still obviously run and run good, because we got a car show coming up here in June, on June 24th, I believe. We're going to Block a Chip. They're having a car meet there, and I want this thing to be done by then. So that's with the hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe the supercharger and the intake manifold by then, but maybe not. But absolutely, definitely do something with these rims and the paint and the stripes. So I definitely want those things to be done as well. So gotta wait on Dusty to give me a call to get a date to bring this back, so they can start working on the oil consumption issue and the oil catch can and that connector. So let's hop in and get on home. But you guys need a start first before we get out of here. So let's set you guys up. Guys, we are headed back home now. Went just a little different than expected, but a good different. I'm absolutely glad with the customer service at Hutter Racing. Absolutely glad with a great job that Trevor did with the Corvette. So I'm absolutely pleased with how everything went. The Corvette is happy, sounds happy. 2 new O2 sensors are put in, driver side and passenger side. Again, like I said before, the driver side connector is going to have to be changed on the next time we come back. Oil catch can and figuring out the oil consumption, and that all has to be done before supercharger talk and intake talk, because that's what Trevor advised me on, and I'll absolutely take his advice on that. And again, absolutely great customer service. It was my first time being there. I got to record a little bit for you guys to see it on the Corvette on the dyno, and I couldn't be happier. I had a fun time just watching it and hearing it as well. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Are you listening? Damn.